Wake up, dummy!
It's still there.
It is.
Like, even the I'm worried, I'm uncomfortable, the pacing of the game has changed.
Mm-hmm.
The intensity of my awareness has changed. It's still, I'm going to call you dummy. And be like, I'm not really going to adjust my words to accommodate for you or to be like, hey, I'm worried about you. It's still going to be like, oh no, now you're Sundari. You're just calling them dummy to, be like, oh no, I don't really like you that much. We're still casual.
There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter a room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? Which really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Sayori.
Oh, there it is.
Ow.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah, me too. It finally went there.
Also telling her, everything will be okay because I've decided to date you because I said I loved you. An exception has occurred. Does that mean the game's over?
No, I think actually what this is it's supposed to be the implication that basically characters are stuck in, to me, if I had to guess, like basically a loop or an experience that they can't get out of, and it's just depressing. They're doing this over and over and over again. And even though we've only played this the one time, I feel like there's supposed to be some implication of going, we're literally trapped in this and this is not who we are.
I don't know.
What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be.
You're having an issue, Splat.
This
you can't focus.
isn't real. There's no way this could be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. So I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. Totally. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay.
And it felt like huge, massive red flags of you telling her, this will fix everything. And then if it doesn't, what is she supposed to do?
Right?
That is the depression narrative I am familiar with my whole life, is if someone else tells you, this is going to fix it, and then it doesn't, you feel like the bad person.
Yeah.
And you also feel like there's no other answer.
This is so not surprising to me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, doop, there we are. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that is what I expected, but there was nothing else to choose.
Right? Then, why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong?
A lot.
Confessing to her? I shouldn't have confessed to her. Oh, that's not what Sayori needed at all.
Yes.
She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her.
Yep.
Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish?
Oh my god! You
This
actually
is-
get a little bit of self-awareness of the fact that you've behaved like an ass, but only a little bit
Right?
at the end?
This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this.
Well, that's nice
If
that you
I
actually
just
have anything.
Spent more time with her,
No.
walked her to school, and
No.
remained friends with her, like it always has been, then I could have prevented
You're
this.
still making this all about you.
I
It
know!
is literally Sayori's experience.
I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club, screw the festival. I just lost my best friend.
Your only friend, as far as we know,
Someone I grew up with.
that you didn't like,
She's gone forever now.
that you just took for granted as an annoyance, and you've described it that way this entire time. You might be having essentially a sort of a sympathetic loss experience. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. Of basically going, but I have to feel bad that I've lost something. And of course it was a good thing that I've lost, because you have described the entire time disliking this person, even your own thoughts in your head. So someone can argue, oh, Sundari, if they want to, but when it's in your head, you're admitting that you like them because you know. So,
Nothing I can do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different.
I mean, it is.
It
but
is,
that's
which
okay.
that's the point of that, I think. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed from me.
Or what she needed in general. It doesn't have to be from you. Again, this thing that we keep saying this entire time of going, people put this burden. Okay. So a lot of loner individuals, a lot of people who are very independent, very self-driven and motivated, put a lot on themselves, and they sort of artificially put everyone else's burdens on themselves, even if not necessarily in a depressing way, but going, oh, you have a problem, it is mine to solve.
Yes.
And sometimes to a very entitled kind of way of going, well, I gave them the solution. I've met a lot of managers who even do that, of basically going, their problem is mine to solve.
Yes.
And if I have already solved it, then they're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I can't solve it, doing the thing I did, I need to do something else. Not they have a problem with something else or from somewhere else or need something other than you. There's this incredibly self-centric idea of, I need to fix this. And it's like, you may not at all be equipped to fix this in any way. And let's just go to like the sort of intelligence thing of basically going, Sayori's problem might be a tree and you might be a fish. You cannot climb it and fix it. Like, this thing. I know you want to fix all of your friends' problems or the people you care about problems, but they're not always relevant to your skill sets or you in any way.
So what do you think? Do you think the game is done?
I don't know. I doubt it. That seems really... I want to say that seems really anticlimactic. In a way that, like, of course it was intense. Of course it was shocking. It was meant to be. But going... That doesn't wrap up anything and is so weirdly sudden. On the other hand, maybe the game's supposed to be hollow and empty?
I mean, maybe that's also the struggle that the characters themselves are dealing with, of going like, yeah, I do feel really hollow and empty, and it is, in that way, though, without point, because you don't really have access or basically understanding of what's going on, in this case, with Sayori.
And then
I imagine it's going to happen with any of the other characters if you play the game again, shockingly.
Directed towards them.
Yeah.
Right. And now...
And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 Never.
Never.
Never.
The blackness engulfs.
It
you.
is done.
That is
Yes, that is it. I was like, I feel like that's the end.
Wow.
Wow.
That's so unresolved for like everything. What is that? Oh my god, that's wild. Alright, so you failed. That's so weird, but she's also a mix of the other characters now.
That's so good.
That's so weird. All right, everybody. Well, there
fascinating. All right. Well, I don't exactly know what's going on, and that's okay. I think most of it for us going off about this game and basically a depression narrative, and that seemed really obvious.
Yes.
But also, again, the way that people were talking about this, like I'm a little bit disappointed in that way, really, of going, it's frustrating because, well, like, because I kind of would have liked knowing less about the game. Coming to it, but I knew this thing blew up super hard. Like Game Grumps played it a while ago, and then like it was inevitable, I guess, at some point, depending on on the circles that I was going through, where people talked about it. But I supposed
to go back and play it again and try something different. So I don't know if we should call this the end or not. Is that considered the series if that's your ending?
I mean, the thing that I'm super entertained by is that, like, so as far as I could tell, like, okay, so you come over here, this you could probably play again, and then there's the load game option, which is clear. So I think the encouragement here is to go, oh, we wanted you to save it at some point, and then go back to that save point to try and do something different. And I'm just kind of like,
we do have a different save right before the confession thing, and we could try something else.
Yeah, but
we'd already gone into really inappropriate territory there as far as like your MC isn't a nice person.
Yeah, I know.
And perhaps it's the way we played it. Perhaps those scenes only happened because of the way we wrote our poems.
Or again, the other thing is too, like I think really the idea is the game's like, no, we want you to keep playing because you need to figure out all the different endings and basically figure out all the different stuff that's going on and how... It sounds like basically in some way, I guess, Monica's more or less the monster here because she knows what's going on, but she won't tell anyone.
Right. That is what I was getting to. Honestly, I was hoping for a larger narrative.
Me too.
Not that depression isn't a big narrative.
Oh, God, no.
But like going... I am a self-centered, assumed boy, and I don't realize how much I affect other people. I am an asshat to my best friend, and I treat them, who isn't even your friend and you don't consider a friend anymore.
Yeah.
And they have put a lot of basically their stake of like comfort and security in me. And then I just kind of go, oh God, me being an asshat this whole time has made their life hard.
Right.
Also, it feels like it didn't follow up on a bunch of the sort of themes that it did have in there. Like there was a whole bunch of other like text that we pulled in.
Or again, there's potentially the idea that that's not what we're supposed to get out of the game. It's supposed to be about something else entirely. So that's kind of the question. So now we're going to have an interesting probably discussion in between videos if we continue this at all. If whether or not we're going to keep doing this. Because I don't really know what we could do. Because a lot of this is like, okay, well, they just want you to sort of like, I think, poke around and see what happens. And that's kind of hard to do with like, let's do a character experience for me.
That is very hard. I feel like it would be interesting
maybe
to go back
stream, but
and see another like ending, but that is apparently the ending we arrived at by leaning into the asshole experience that they described.
Right.
And then them going, then at the end going, why did this happen? It's like, Because
your character's a jerk?
your character has been a jerk the whole time, and a very soft, fluffy snowflake decided that that was their crux in life.
Right?
Their whole center of existing. And again, there is that sort of experience of going, if you have somebody, that believes that you are a permanent fixture in their life and has put a lot of stake in you, sort of like Sayori going, Splat needs to be a permanent thing in my life. And then going, okay, well, that thing is going to potentially change.
So I just noticed something. The
What?
O and the O, Doki Doki, that makes the infinity symbol.
It does.
So basically, to me, I'm like, the idea is the game never ends.
Yeah.
And that's probably supposed to be the crawling horror of the game, is going like, yeah.
You keep trying and it probably never works, I imagine. Since
I
you're
imagine.
never allowed to choose anything else or more, but I don't know.
But
At
again,
any
the
rate-
characters themselves are literally not allowed to choose anything else. You have to continue. You have to keep playing whenever you want. You always have to be available. You always have to be bright and cheerful.
Now, I would wonder if it changes if you load the game after you finished it. If it then suddenly changes the narrative in a sort of self-aware kind of way if you go back on a save. So that might be something we'll need to research. But in the meantime, let us for right now consider this the final episode.
Okay.
And then if we figure out a good way to approach additional episodes, we will do so. And in the meantime, everybody, please take care of yourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And please do the best you can to be aware of the things around you. And human interaction is challenging. Relationships are difficult. And if somebody is struggling, try again, as we've said, to support them in getting whatever help they need, even if that help is not you. Like this idea that Splat has to be in Sayori's life, and that sort of thing that we came up with very near the end of going, has it ever occurred to you that you might be the one that's contributing to her sadness or making it so that she can't move away from you to get another kind of help?
Right?
Kind of thing of, well, if you're the resource and you're supposed to fix this, then I can never look at anything else.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it feels strange to end it so abruptly, but there we are, my bros.
Yeah, so, thank you very much for joining us. Gosh, I really don't know what to say. I'm kind of having a weird experience also going like, well, wouldn't that also make Monica a really sad character? But if they're being like, well, Monica knows everything and Monica's fucking with everyone, even though, I don't know. It's fine.
Be careful with yourself out there.
Right?
Like,
I'm
also
sorry.
just being like, that's got to be a really rough life for Monica as the only aware one. Or basically going, well, I just hope it goes well for you.
Yeah.
I know it won't, but that's fine.
It's okay. Anyway, so I guess I'm confused because I'm also going, what we were going for is definitely obviously to me not what the game was going for. Again, that point of going, your main character's a jerk. Like they're kind of a butt and they say some really terrible things and I'm going, no, and I gotta fix this, and you're like, but you're awful. So what can you fix in that way? Other than basically you as a person need to change.
And then going, oh, well, I've realized that I did things wrong at the end. And is that supposed to be a shaming exercise on basically your traditional male trope?
Oh,
of
I don't
going
know.
The standard hot male character that does behave as kind of a jerk and asshole and disregarding of other people and does get all the attention lavished on them kind of thing as the love interest.
Right.
Is this basically supposed to be and look what happened or can happen if that happens?
All right. Well, again, thank you very much, guys, though, I guess, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. Got a link in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And
It was great playing with you. Bye!
Bye.